Hello there and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we've got a pressing topic at the moment going on, something that everyone's talking about. We have to talk about
The band that shall not be named.
Exactly.
and so yeah, look, this is something that we've talked about in dribs and drabs in different places before. Anyone who knows me knows this is a hot button topic for me, because my channel started back in January of 2019 and got taken offline solely thanks to this band, and as a result had to come back. And it wasn't like it's a copyright strike thing, and as many people have noted, unlike most copyright strikes, if you look at where the copyright strike comes from with these guys, it comes from an email address registered to one of their websites. Now, someone can confirm or deny that if they want, but it certainly doesn't appear to be something that's just happening as automatic. And well, one of you can say the name of the band, because I'm not going to fucking say their name.
All right, so we're talking about Maximum the Hormone. Now, I reacted to one of the music videos that came out, I think it was last month, and I got hit with a strike. So I haven't reacted to this. I reacted to this band loads of times. This was I think it was the second time I've been hit by them, and I decided, all right, look, enough's enough now. I'm not going to react to this band anymore. As much as I love Maximum the Hormone, begrudgingness aside, I still really like the music they put out. I just don't like their practices when it comes to obviously us as content creators. Well, that's
Sorry, I just read your name.
That's a stretch.
I just read. Sorry, your name. Your name on Zoom is down as Neon Asshole. I just noticed that. That's a good cover band name.
The cover band, yeah.
Oh, don't do it. You'll definitely get sued if you do that.
So,
Yeah.
I know.
Taken down.
Definitely. They'll come after me for that one for sure. But obviously they released a new song, which is Maximum Hormone, one of their old songs, Sema, with guest appearance by Atarashi Gakko. Now, I took the plunge with this one because I was thinking, oh, Atarashi Gakko is on this. So maybe with it being a collab and it being a bit more open with two different companies, it might not be so harsh. I thought obviously, they would want to collab.
Double as harsh.
Or actually, Atarashi Gakko are really
Atarashi Gakko seems to be pretty open, yeah.
Yeah, they're very open, very friendly, which is the reason why I took the plunge for this one. I was like, oh, with it being Atarashi Gakko.
It's one of the reasons why they become so viral as well.
Because of reactions. Exactly. But it's come to light from loads of various different creators. And one channel in particular posted a video. Shout out to Party Like a Podcast. Party Like a Rockstar podcast. Get my words mixed up here. He released a video saying,
like a podcast.
Party like a podcast.
That's what sounds like a really shit good party.
That's what we do every episode.
Everyone sits in a chair, doesn't move. Everyone just stays in their chairs and looks solely in one direction. Party like a podcast.
Party like a podcast. That's it. Nobody speaks. They just make sudden movements, and that's all you can hear for the entirety of the podcast. But he put out a video just saying, look, I did a reaction to this band. I got hit. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and I literally had
sorry, do you mean you or do you mean him?
Yeah, no, me, yeah. As well as this video being released, I woke up to loads of people from DMs from my community and vice versa going, look, Neon, Maximum Hormone are going around striking.
Sorry, who are?
Sorry. Neon has hormones are going around striking people's channels. Really bad. Loads of people got hit. And they, obviously a lot of people reached out and messaged me saying, "Look, mate, take it down."
Can we just bring up one thing though? And I want to say this as well, because I think this is the broader topic that really needs to be discussed here, is the fact that so the gentleman who runs the Party Like a Rockstar podcast, you're going to get me doing it now. He has been part of a big campaign that I think it's very laudable. I don't necessarily agree with everything about it, but very laudable cause where he's trying to basically get reactors together under the banner of, okay, well, let's stop a lot of the copyright chasing that's happening. Now, I don't agree with all of that because, to be honest, and I know this is difficult for people who've got monetized channels, I am a great believer that if anyone who owns the copyright to a song that's being reacted to wants to say, we're going to claim the copyright from your video, as far as I'm concerned, that's fine. That's their right. I don't personally object to that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like as a reactor, I make shit stuff.
I just want to quickly add though, because I think this kind of sets the level for it, is that everyone's got a different opinion on where they stand on that. Personally, I think everything's fine. Even if they want to tell you you're blocked, we're not going to even let your video go online. That's their choice as the copyright holder. But I think copyright striking, especially when, you know, it can come from like the RAAJ, but when it's actually directly, we're going to strike you for having done a reaction, it's malicious. And that's the one thing I think everyone agrees on. It's malicious and it's out of order, because all that Reactor's trying to do is put your music in front of more people, whether it's for their benefit as well or not. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely fall into the camp where as long as my video is just available to be viewed, I feel like that's the bare minimum. I don't care if it gets claimed. In fact, I much prefer it when a band claims my video, because then at least I know that the monetization is going to the band that I'm pushing out. So don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. You know, I make my money from other ways through streaming and stuff like that as well. So that's how
Drug dealing,
yeah.
Sorry.
So who, me, never.
Yeah, Benedict suddenly got a new house. I'm just wondering, it's like, you two got like a racket going on here or something, man.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You people getting paid, eh? There's a fundraiser that you've got going on there, Neil. This fundraiser to come to Japan. I'm starting to think that that's something else.
Mate, if I was selling drugs, trust me, I wouldn't be running this channel.
That's the passion of a true creator.
I'd be in Japan already. So, but yeah, like fuck, would I still be in England? Jesus Christ. But yeah,
don't say that so your family can hear. By the way.
Oh no, I'll take them with me. I don't think they'd want to go, but they wouldn't have a choice. Actually, I know my eldest. She'd love to go to Japan, so I'd just take my eldest daughter, and I'd be fine. That's one half of the kids. Yeah, who cares?
So if you're into drug trafficking, call Neon.
So we've broken up his family, trafficked him, got him into drug trafficking, and all in a big space about 5 minutes. He didn't need much of a push. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, in all seriousness though, like, so I know you and Benedict, I'm guessing you're kind of the same with this, because I don't think I've ever spoken to you about this, but I'm figuring you're probably in a similar view, because I know you just kind of do reactions because you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know if you're monetized, actually, if I'm honest with you.
Well, I do have my channel monetized, but I don't actually have any videos monetized. Just some of my own songs, because I was annoyed that YouTube was putting like ads in front of my videos and I wasn't getting any of it. I mean, I still don't get any of it, but at least YouTube doesn't get it.
Principle. It's principle.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe I think like copyright strikes probably will only come for videos that are monetized, right? Could they
actually,
also go for
no, because my channel's never been monetized, and they literally closed my channel down, and it wasn't even monetized.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's if the video is being monetized or not.
I see, because I think I watched a little bit of that video that you posted, Neon, from the Rockstar channel. And I think he mentioned one of the reasons was that they think actually that they lose money to those reactors, and which I think is absolutely like. How much is that?
I think what he means by that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending this because I think this is absolutely absurd, but I think the idea is that basically if you're watching a Reactor's video and enjoying the song with the Reactor, and you're enjoying the whole song with the Reactor, because you're effectively, basically, you're putting a friend next to you. It's like sitting in a room listening to a song, but because you're listening through this friend, this Reactor, you're not watching their video and giving them a view, when realistically they want you to be watching their video. The problem I see with that, it's fucking obvious, but twofold. First of all you have to do is put in a copyright claim like everyone else does, and you'll still get the copyright revenue.
Yeah.
And as for getting less views, well, I think that's bullshit, because the fact is no one watches with a Reactor rather than listening to the song. It's on top of listening to the song. Plus, that Reactor will probably put your music in front of other people who wouldn't have listened to it anyway. Stats will vary on that, but ultimately, it's not like you're getting screwed. So for actually taking a malicious swipe at the online community, whatever you think of reactors, I'm not saying you have to think reacting. You might think reacting is a completely illegitimate thing, but if you genuinely think you mean to take a malicious response towards it,
Yeah.
then sorry, I'm going to rant again. I'm just so angry about these fuckers.
Just wanted to say, I would actually agree that they will probably get less views because the reactions exist, because sometimes you will watch a reaction instead of listening to the song. But like the exposure and all the like advertisement they get through all these different channels that have different communities and different reaches that they would have never gotten without those people.
So you will actually get
way
other views.
outweighs the loss that they get in views on their own video.
So it might actually be that you end up with more views. I mean, I can't say for certain, but I would
definitely.
say it's either way. I mean, if it's more, it's going to be potentially a lot more. If it's going to be less, it's not going to be much less. It's not like you're going to lose 10% of your views. I just.
Yeah, I think it's really stupid. I think to go after these channels is malicious. I mean, this brings up an eternal YouTube debate on whether or not reactions are considered fair use or not. Because if it was a review, it would be classed as a review and therefore classed as fair use. And with a reaction, she'll react onto the content, but most reactors give their thoughts, opinions, and reviews and stuff at the end. Not everybody, but mostly. But
when is it a reaction and when is it a review? When you're watching it and giving your opinions, it kind of is a review.
I mean, sorry to interject again on this, but it's partly because I've worked with copyright, so maybe I don't know everything, but maybe I got some insights on this. It is important to point out that fair use is a little bit of this isn't really what a lot of people think it is. It's more of someone gave me a better word for it. It's a legal precedent basically, but someone set out it's not actually a law. There is no such thing as a fair use law. That doesn't exist, and this only applies in the US. It's not an international thing even. So when you're dealing with music that might be copyrighted in Japan, they might be like, well, fuck your fair use, we're not interested in that. And even in America, although it is a precedent, which means it probably will have ramifications, it's not like it's actually a law, because maybe because of the vagaries. But I think, although I agree that fair use is important, I know YouTube pay a lot of attention to it, I think it's also important to remember that the copyright holder doesn't have to give a damn about that. I think they should, to be honest. I think they should. I think it's a really good precedent.
I think it's a good point to make with it's not an international law, because it really depends on like which country does it. Because I think also off topic a little bit, but there's recently this Nintendo lawsuit about about the Pal World Pokemon debate.
Oh yeah,
and, it's also some weird thing that you could only bring to a court in Japan apparently. So
I know Nintendo sued that company who were doing this is what I heard, actually. I should say allegedly Nintendo sued the company who did the go-kart rides around Tokyo thing.
Also, Nintendo sued a lot of
like
stuff.
Mario outfits, and apparently they were trading very much on the Mario image. So I believe they are quite litigious, which is why I say allegedly, because I have no proof either way. This is just something I've heard as
but it's the same thing. I think also it has to do some with that old mentality. They are stealing from us, or like they are taking our stuff and using it for their own. Because
to be fair,
also known to strike a lot of like content creators who play their games and stuff.
Yeah, Power World was parodied in Pokemon. Like for all intents and purposes, it was a Pokemon game with guns.
I remember this. Yeah.
The reason why I think Nintendo went through with the lawsuit is because the artwork for some of the creatures that we used in Power World were almost identical.
But that's exactly the thing. Pokemon. They didn't sue them for any of the artwork or like the creature designs. They sued them for like weird concepts, like that you cannot in your game throw something at a creature and then it comes back to you. That's the concept that they try to.
Yeah. But this is all about law, because they know that they can't go after them for parodying, because parrying
probably that's the reason why. But it's still so absurd.
Is protected. Like you're allowed to parody stuff. Therefore, the law heads, the guys who earn the big bucks, they'll go after them for things like that, for throwing the balls and stuff like that. That will
could that maybe be the reason they just don't like? There's someone in Maximum the Hormone, sorry Howard, that really doesn't like reactions and just says, fuck them.
like my guess with the whole Power World thing, and I do think there's a certain relevance to that, because my guess with the Power World thing is that parody it makes sense as parody, but if you can then actually sit down and just enjoy playing the game, and you're basically playing a game that is Pokemon. I can see kind of how that's where they would attack more the format of the game, because like the parody elements, like Neon says, you can't go after. So that I kind of get. And so when it comes to the music side of things, like including, the works of when it comes, I'm not going to stop doing that. When
the band that shall not be named.
When it comes to that, the problem is that, like, again, it comes down to, like with the game, can I just sit and enjoy this in the way that I would have enjoyed the original instead of enjoying the original? Basically, can it be used to serve the purpose of the original in place of it? And like you said, I think you said, okay, there might be some viewers lost from people who watch a reaction instead of the original, but I can't help but feel that if your music is genuinely entertaining, then people are not going to want to spend most of the time listening to people talking all over the top of it. And for me, this is another thing I noticed, by the way. I believe it was actually said that the band, who shall not be named, so I didn't do it that time, have actually said that this song will apparently not be released in any digital format, will only be in physical formats. Now, I'm not strictly against that. I think I love physical like formats, especially like CD and stuff. I love that. But to me, this feels really like, I don't know. It feels to me like it's more a case of, we don't even want you streaming our music. And yeah, don't get me wrong, Spotify, all these things, they rip off artists. I get that. But the truth is, it's 2024. And it's like, you are going to make your money by going out there, busting your ass, touring like all the other bands do, selling merch, and people will buy your CDs. And just this fucking old-fashioned mindset. It's like, fine. Yeah. I'm sure you're rich, and if you're rich enough for yourself and you're happy enough for yourself, that's fine. But you know what? If you are going to rebuke what everyone else is doing, and you're going to rebuke the community and rebuke basically the way that most people are enjoying listening to music, then don't expect the community to fucking like you. And to be honest, I don't think that they give a shit about being liked anyway, because allegedly, I remember that story about when they were at a festival with a overseas idol group, and apparently went about making them feel like absolute shit for coming to Japan. So these basically they come across like it's all fun and shit in their music videos, but I just can't help but get the feeling that they're a right bunch of cunts. And no, I didn't beat that fucking word.
Shots fired.
Just nothing about them comes across well. Like nothing about them. And no, I'm sure they don't give a fuck what I think. I don't give a fuck what they think either.
No, but it's starting to get to the point now
where give a fuck about them.
It's starting to get to the point now though where like everybody within like the reaction community and everybody that tries to cover them, and even fans that really adore them, they're starting to get a bad rap now. And at some point that's going to affect them negatively, I reckon.
Yeah. I think it's already happening.
I think it's already happening.
For example, I heard these stories from like Howard about his channel, and also Neon, and I know about a lot of copyright strikes. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this group because that's just way too risky. And honestly, even if I like the music, that's just not worth it. So it's their own fault for not getting any exposure.
Yeah.
And when I did my video, I did it sitting alongside James, who used to be, I don't know if he still is, but used to be a big fan of theirs. And the whole idea of the videos was he was introducing me to this band he loved. And that's what got us struck into oblivion. Was, hey, big fan introduces YouTube Reactor guy to this band he loves. And they were like, that's fucking
just makes no sense.
So new fans, fuck off.
I mean, the YouTube landscape has changed a lot now. I mean, like fucking me and Howard are old enough to remember the dark times. The copyright times.
And I'm the young one.
You're the young one. You're new and happy and carefree. You can come in and
new and happy.
Young and happy.
We're all bald.
I don't
Can we
feel
just
new.
pretending like we're not all bald? All right.
Exactly.
You know that you're too old when you lose all your hair and start opening a YouTube channel. Bald white people who don't shave, the #1 YouTuber demographic.
That's how it goes.
I love it. But yeah, me and Howard are like old enough to remember like when we first started this, like the how bad trying to get videos out on YouTube were. Now, over the last like 6 odd years, I feel like the Japanese industry in particular has like really mellowed out considerably over the last couple of years, probably since COVID, actually. I feel like COVID was a bit of an eye opener for them, where lots of reactions was going, and that's what kind of kept a lot of bands in the Japanese industry up and running through YouTube.
Do you think maybe that the lack of, because obviously a lot of them weren't playing live anymore, I think a lot of, obviously around that time they'd started to notice a lot of these bands like Ningenes and Bandmaid and Babe Metal had such online fandoms and overseas fandoms. Do you think that maybe when they couldn't get money from touring for a little while, they realized how much money was coming in from overseas merch and stuff that was probably still shifting during COVID?
I think it helped. Yeah, I think COVID really kind of was a bit of an eye opener for them, and I think it probably moved them forwards 10 years sooner than they probably would have otherwise. We know how slow and stubborn the Japanese industry is to change.
Hey, just because you can still get fax numbers on adverts here.
I haven't seen a fax machine in like 20 years. Shit, you know.
I'm surprised 20, man. I was like, I just think of the 80s. It's like fax machine, Rubik's Cube. You know, that's
fuck you're old.
Hey, fun. I was only alive for half that decade, I'll have you know. All right, anyway.
I was alive for one day of that decade. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Talk about fucking 80s tourist. Anyway.
I know. I was literally alive for less than 24 hours in the 80s. And literally, like, yeah, I think the Japanese industry has moved forward a little bit. And
a lot. Yeah, I agree. A lot.
And this whole Maximum the Hormone thing just feels like a bygone era thing. Like, it just feels like they're really stuck in their way. And like Howard said before, now I question, look, is it really because they're protecting copyright, or is this just coming off as just like purely malicious? And I'm starting to veer more inside of they're just cunts more than
it's somewhere between malicious
it's a combination
and
of all of those.
Yeah, malicious and out of touch and don't give a fuck, which is fine. But I think, like you said, the industry has moved on so far, and I think there's a lot of things that have caused it. And it's weird because back when I had this issue with them, it was the first couple of months of 2020, like right as the COVID thing was kicking off in public attention, was when I had that problem with them. And I must admit that when it happened to me, I was kind of like, I was obviously very angry in the way it happened and finding out how it had come to me and all those things. I was angry. But when people would say to me, oh, well, you know, talk about copyright, there was a little bit of me which was just like, okay, well, yeah, I have had like copyright blocks before, and I had a copyright strike before that I'd cleared and everything before it was a 3 or 6 month process. But now we get to this phase. I've restarted my reaction channel alongside my other channels. I restarted that, as you guys know, it was about half a year ago now, and I've been uploading about 2 videos every day. I've only had 1 block. I've had no strikes, nothing like that. And now I look at this thing with these assholes, and I'm just like, well, look, before it was like, okay, maybe something was just a bit off, but now you're just on your own. And it's like, yeah, you can do it if you want, but you just look like a bunch of dicks. It's like, no one else is doing this. No one else is doing this. Is you guys, and everyone fucking knows it. So wear your crown, you absolute cockwomble.
Yeah.
Do we actually know if it's related to how many views the channels have? Like, because I could imagine not to offend you, Howard, but channels like ours don't have the huge numbers that some of the other channels have.
Mine certainly didn't when it happened to me. When it happened to me, I certainly didn't have a big view number. So,
okay.
They definitely
the rise. I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely went out their way to take down Howard personally. I know numerous now other channels that have come and gone due to this ban in particular, because they've been hit so much that their channels just like they don't exist anymore. And for one reason or another, either created a new channel that's not taken off, or just exited the reaction game altogether, which is really sad, to be honest. So yeah, it's a little bit better now than what it was. YouTube have changed their policies now, so if you can't strike on mass anymore. So if Maximum the Hormone goes, if Maximum the Hormone goes scouring through our channels, I know Howard's are going to be all right because there's going to be absolutely fuck all of them on his in a minute.
Just me saying the band who should not be named and occasionally a beeper sound.
Yeah, they could scour through your entire channel and they could copyright strike 20 videos if you've done 20 reactions, but it will only class as one strike. Now, whereas I think it was 2 years ago, that wasn't the case. So if they hit
like
you,
just out of nowhere, your channel is gone.
Yeah,
that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. They just sort of like scattergun.
They scattergun. Yeah, people used to do it all the time. They scattergun your channel, and then you just wake up and your channel will be gone. Like you just go to bed, wake up, and boom, you're like you didn't.
And the thing is that everyone tells you get 7 days to back up your content. That is true, but anything that not only anything that's been striked, but anything that has ever had a copyright claim, even a friendly one just saying, "Hey, we're going to put some adverts on your video," you are not allowed to back it up. You try to download it, YouTube will not let you back it up. You download my entire channel, it won't be there. So in other words, I backed up my entire channel when I got that, but I still lost more than half the videos because most of them just
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sort of quiet. Yeah, they just had sort of quiet copyright claims. So it is important to remember. And the thing is that like, so my channel, one of the things I'm most happy about on my channel is that we've got this active Discord community and we have fans of so many different types of music there. And I can't help but feel that if we regularly talked about that band in the way that we talk about other bands, in the way that I believe we would, because we talk about things like Yeah, buy t-shirts, Shazam, we talk about Melt Banana, we talk about bands who appears, we talk about Anna, who obviously did a song with them. I love Anna, but I'm not going to listen to that song. I'm not going to even give them one view, to be fair. Fuck them. And so, you know, they're worried about losing
make a
views.
version where all the MTH parts are cut out.
But my point is that if I just had popped up a couple of reactions and they got a few hundred views, they would have been talked about in my community occasionally, rather than people just going fuck them. And they would probably have extra fans. There would have been people come and gone from our community, as always have been, who would have found out about them. Yeah.
I just want to know where their heads are at. I just don't understand why they just don't claim
their
the video.
Fucking asses.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they don't claim the video. Swish. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand why they don't claim the video. Or worst case scenario,
I could really imagine like some of those people really are so, like we said before, are so out of touch. They don't really understand how it works these days. You know, they're still from the days. Okay, someone reacting to your video is like ripping off your CD of the internet or something. I mean, where in an age where there wasn't any streaming and stuff.
There's absolutely no need to go after reaction channels for this. Like, if you don't like the reaction around, just block it.
That's the point. We have to point this out. It's like, as we talk about this, we have to remind them, they can still block. And not one of us, I think, has got an issue with a band going, sorry, we're going to block that, which means that you put it up online, but it will never go live. No one will ever see it. YouTube will say this video
I've had blocks also, but I've never had a strike. But the block, it's okay. You have the video, okay, you did it for nothing, but they don't want it. Okay. So they told me.
The strike literally means I want to punish you for doing this.
Well, that's the difference as well, Benedict, because like I said, pre-COVID, like most of those blocks probably would have ended up being strikes.
Kind of scary.
Back in the day. You were as a reactor, you were constantly walking on eggshells. I mean, you're still constantly walking on eggshells. Like, don't get me wrong.
I don't think I ever got that many. I got a couple of strikes, and like one of them was cleared very quickly. The other one took me a few months to get rid of. I got quite a few blocks. But then again, like I say, since coming back, I've posted like a few hundred videos. I've only had one block.
Yeah, I've got a strike currently on my channel at the minute, which is actually from the band that shall not be named.
And you went and posted another one.
And I went and posted another one. That was because I thought it was safe because they're at Tarashi Gakko.
You sweet summer child.
I know. I was like, with it being Atarashi Gakko being in there, and then knowing that they're so media friendly, I thought, there's no way they're going to block that as a collab. Like, obviously, they want to get the attention for that out there. But that was before I realized as well what you said, that they're not releasing it digitally. That it's purely a physical disc.
One of those things on its own is an issue. Wanting to block people from doing reactions, not an issue. Wanting to release a CD, not an issue. But when you put it all together, it paints a hell of a fucking picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for asking. Like, they say they don't release it digitally, but there is the digital video on YouTube, is it not?
Yeah. Okay. Well, exactly.
But they get the money. They get the money for that, don't they? So that's where they.
I wonder if they're going to go through the stats, see everyone who viewed it, and then send them hate mail. So how dare you watch our video for free online? Why are you not a YouTube
video?
Why don't you have a YouTube premium subscription? In fact, I'm quite surprised that their music video is not behind a YouTube premium subscription. If someone suggested it to them, they'll probably fucking do it.
Yeah, they probably would. I don't understand if they're gonna go that route of blocking people or going after people's channel. Baby Metal actually has quite a good model. I haven't seen them use it actually recently, but they did use it for a little bit when they released the other one, which was you'd react to a video when they released it, you'd post it, but it would be blocked. And what they would do is they would block the video for like 24, 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Let their main channel get all the views, and then they would release the block on your video.
But
so you
think that's actually a tactic that they employ like deliberately? Because I thought it was just my video was blocked because it was like released in Japan but not yet in Europe.
Oh no, they do that intentionally. They do it intentionally to boost their YouTube numbers on their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
they give
that's
24 hours.
Totally fine too.
Yeah,
just the strike is the thing that's bothering everyone.
I will actually say, I am intrigued by this. Now, I'm not doubting what Neon says at all there, but I'm kind of intrigued by this. And I'm going to bring this up because when people were telling me that, when I used to do Baby Metal reactions back in 2019, a new song would come out. I would do the reaction and I would never get a block on it unless it was a permanent one, which some of them were, but usually it would go immediately live. And I found even with the Baby Metal ones I've done recently, where now it does regional, it will say blocked, but only in a certain number of countries. And if you watch it every hour, countries will start disappearing from the list until 24 hours. They're all available.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, if you do that, you release it, it will say initially everywhere except for like Japan and Australia blocked. And then you literally watch every hour, names come off the list until at the end it's just like Belarus and Russia, which are always blocked.
Exactly. Those are.
I actually found that by accident. Like I wasn't even aware of it. Like I released a Baby Metal video, it was blocked, and I was like, oh, that's crap. And usually when I get a blocked video, I just delete the video and post it on Patreon, and that's me done. But I think I just left that one on for some strange reason, and then I literally went to sleep, came on the next day, and then realized my video had gone live and everybody was watching it and commenting on it. I was like, what the fuck? And then that's when I was like, oh, they released the video, and then once I found that they did that the first time, once I know that they block it, sometimes I let it ride, and 90% of the time they'll unblock it when I don't know what they go by, whether or not it's just maybe like Howard said, released in all territories and then the block opens up. But
I don't know if that's just now or if that was the case before. It seems to be that's the way it works now, at least. It might have been different before, but
so Baby Metal are really good for like blocking the initial video sometimes, but then like I said, letting it go in like 24 to 48 hours and it will be live. I would argue a little bit as a reactor that's still a bit annoying because you kind of lose the hype after like 48 hours a little bit, but it's still that's still a better way to do it.
Quite a good idea. Yeah, I think it's actually quite a good idea because of course the thing is that you will get the hype. It's just that you won't get the priority because like all the reactions that were done on time will all suddenly come out instantly. So you just lose priority, which you would have had otherwise if you were the quickest to draw.
Yeah.
But for them, I think if that's what they were genuinely doing, which they might well have been, I must admit, I wasn't aware. Then if that's what they were doing, then I can understand that they want the only place you can see the video for the first day is on their channel. Then they're making sure they get the maximum number of views, and then they're still allowing the community in. So,
well, like I said, there's just no need to go after people's livelihoods. I mean, like let's be honest, like 99.9% of the time, the bands claim the videos anyway, so they're still making money on it. I just don't understand why that's not it. If you don't like
not even the livelihoods though, because like I said, they go after non-monetized channels. They're just going after you.
They're just going after you for just being a dick. I don't understand it. I just don't get their mindset on this one.
Like I say, head stuffed up ass.
Block. If you don't like it, block the video. You don't need to go and destroy people's fucking channels.
Here's my call, and communities as well. Because like I say, if I hadn't restarted mine, that would have been the death of a community of people who enjoyed getting together. And I was really on the fence when that happened. I put so much work into that, and I'm glad I continued. But I was like just over a year into it at that point, and the reaction channel has never been as high views as it was back in the day because the momentum was sucked out of it. I've got to say though that they didn't kill the community, and that's what they would have done. And a non-monetized community is what they basically went out for. So as far as I'm concerned, I guess my final thought for this, and you guys tell me what you think. My final thought for this is, regardless, as a viewer, I'm assuming you watching this are probably not a YouTuber. Here's my thing: you listen to and watch whatever you like. You love whatever you like. Separating the artist from the music is a perfectly valid thing to do. But if you do care about YouTube channels and you do have communities that you like to follow, then I would say that you might want to consider maybe blocking
the band that should not be named.
block them. I mean, just it's up to you. But I wouldn't go giving them views or money or buying their merch or anything like that, because probably the YouTubers who you like, who maybe bring you music to enjoy, they'll have lots of other good music for you. And well, that band probably hates the YouTubers who you get on with.
Yeah, it's such a shame as well, because I know we've been bad mouthing them now for this entire freaking episode, but I still seriously love the band. I love their music, and their.
Never had the chance to love
I
them,
also do love the music, but I feel like for me that's really also a factor why I'm not listening to them a lot, because a lot of the times when I'm seeing the name, I'm immediately thinking about that stuff. And like, to me, especially Japanese groups, a lot of times all these girls, they're so sympathetic. That's a big part for me why I love them. And Maximum, sorry, they don't have that.
Say the word cunt. Anyway.
Maximum no hormones.
Yeah, we can still swear we're under 1,000 subscribers and not getting monetized. So fuck it, why not?
Minimum hormones.
It's stupid. It's one of those. Let us know in the comments.
Are you saying they can't hit puberty?
Well, have you seen them? Just saying.
Oh no! I know. Well, at least one of them's got a dirty beard on his face, just like us. So I'm guessing they probably have. But
the 2 minutes to stomp on them.
True. Like I said, let us know in the comments what you think. Would be really interested to know the scenario. I know people that watch us probably watch other channels that may be suffering from the same thing, and other reactors that are maybe dealing with this as well. Let us know who they are in the comments. Maybe we can invite them on, try and talk to other creators, and maybe about the situation.
I thought
about copyright
we would invite the
like
band.
A self-help. Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Let's invite the band and ask them.
They want to talk, we can talk.
I thought like Neon was suggesting like a YouTuber self-help group where we all sit around and go, I remember the time that they struck me.
But no, because I think
I used to get struck by every week, and every week I come home and struck me again.
Are we talking about copyright strikes, or did you just get abused, Howard?
Getting scrambled up.
Making it so that was my joke. God damn it! All right. Anyway,
all right. Anyway, guys. Yeah. It's not funny if Howard needs to explain it. All right, guys. Take care. We appreciate you all viewing. This whole has just gone fucking sideways. Don't forget to leave the like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already.
To have a normal ending with Howard.
So, yay!
Normal chaotic.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. As Neon said, like, subscribe, get us over 1,000 subscribers so that they can notice us and try to ban us from the internet again. And until we see you next time, remember to keep your heads to the east, but not towards that bunch of. Oh shit! The button's broken.
Why are they dicks? We don't know. Why golf? We will also never know.
What is it with you and the golf thing?
It's a meme. I told you it's going to be a t-shirt when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Why golf? It's going to happen.
It's because Neon will release his own golf balls. Neon golf.
Neon ball.